BSTAKEHOOPS hashtag where basketball lives. Where basketball is still and will always live.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's good stuff, man. But yeah, just really quick before we get back into the this basketball talk, man. This coronavirus, man, it has really been. I have a lot of questions and a lot of answers that I don't have right now. But like I said, it has me and my wife working from home now, and pretty much stuck in the house. I do my AAU basketball team, the ATL Outsiders, and for a minute there, we were still going to the outdoor courts, kind of practicing, because we use the Gwinnett County facilities to actually practice in the gyms. And since school was closed, we didn't have access to the gym, so we would still go out and try to get conditions. Because I was under the mindset that when spring AAU started, like in March, that we were going to be able to, this stuff will be out the way. But I wasn't seeing that it was going to be to the point now where school is going to be closed. I know in Gwinnett County, I think to April the 24th or something like that, almost May.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm getting text messages and group me messages from some of the parents that's on the team that or the kids I've coached, saying that now Gwinnett County has they have I guess a mandate to stay in the house now. So it's getting bad, man. And it's like, now I'm being forced to be in the house. I work from home some in a way, but being now forced to say, hey, you gotta stay home and work, it's kind of different between me working at home because of the choice, and now me being forced to stay in this house all day long. Then you got the kids. But it's been I love working from home, man. I will tell you that much right there. But like I said, it's just the mindset of being forced to. You see what I'm saying?
I do, man. And you know what? That's funny you say that. There's so many layers to this onion to peel off, so many moving parts. But just think about it and why it's so difficult, because of the simple fact that outside of the fact that, we as Americans are very stubborn, that's one reason behind why I believe that, just one reason behind why I believe that there's more cases in this country that has surpassed, Italy, China, and all these other places. But I don't want to get too political on you. But the funny part is one reason why it's so uncomfortable, because as an adult, we've never been told, you got to go in that house, you got to stay in that house. I mean, as youth, the only person that had that kind of pull was mama. Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of taking us back to that. But the good thing about what is happening with all of this, and there's not a ton of positives, obviously, but I just kind of have challenged people to learn something new about yourself. We about to find out real soon, BT, who's been just talking and tweeting about it versus who really about it. Because this is the time that whoever your higher being is, that you reestablish and gear your focus towards bettering the relationship with whom that is. This is the time where you get on that ultimate grind, hence why we are doing this podcast. Because if you sitting around and this, that, and the third, and we know it's about to get real, when we come up out of this, that's going to really show. It's like the strong, only the strong survive. And we going to see exactly who been putting the pedal to the metal and who really been going hard on whatever it is. So I just kind of challenge people to kind of better themselves in whatever area that is. Find out something different and new that you may be interested in, maybe a talent, a gift, a hobby, picking something up that you've been wanting to do for so long. all the excuses are out for not getting things accomplished because you don't have the time to do it. So I don't know who's going to hear this. I hope a ton of people hear it. Following my boy BT at Temple of Hoops. Following Tate's Take Hoops. But that's just one of the small things that I've had to challenge myself on because I know hoops.
Right.
All the way around, straight up and down, elevator, escalator. You know what I'm saying? 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
That's right.
I don't know much more than that, but this is the time to start learning something new about yourself that you might be good at. And I don't have those answers. So for the people who right now may be listening that don't have those answers, that's fine too. But this is the time that we need to be building each other up as a country.
I totally agree, man. And it's definitely a time for self-reflection and, you know, working on yourself. Like you said, learning something new. I mean, you're in the house now. Learning something new, reading a book, it's several things. And a lot of times, even still, we're working on yourself to even get a better job or anything like this. I don't know how much it'll help you at this point because a lot of the jobs, you have to go in to do an interview, and then most jobs, you actually have to be at a location, a building, or somewhere to perform your job. But I do say now's a good time, especially when you're talking about broadcasting and podcasts and things we're doing now, to be able to stay in touch with your audience or with people, to be able to just, you know, still communicate and get your voice out there, get your message across to other people. Now's a great time, and you know, I picked up on a podcasting thing a few years back, and you know, I went out there and just something I always wanted to do. You know, I always grew up wanting to be a basketball player, and then after moving to Atlanta, got into sports radio. I'm sure it was in Mississippi at the time, but I guess it never hit me the way it did when I moved to Atlanta. And, you know, I just really wanted to talk sports, you know. And I just invested in just the equipment and the things that how we able to do this now. Just I self-taught myself how to connect the mixer, get the right software that meets my needs and my goals, the right microphone, just all these things, like I said, that we're doing now. It's very good because at this point, man, I'm almost going crazy, man. I mean, and in this podcast, you'll probably hear my son. Like I said, I'm recording from home, so you'll probably hear my son come downstairs asking for daddy. But I try to keep that to a minimum as much as possible. But like I said, when you're recording at home, man, you don't care, man. You just want to get on the mic and just talk about something.
Yeah, it's therapeutic. Yeah. You know, and that's something that I hope that the people who listen can appreciate and embrace, because that's what makes it authentic. You know what I'm saying? And in this time of everything that is going on, it's all about inspiring other people, motivating other people, making sure that people are digging down deep within themselves to muster up some motivation and determination to do something maybe that they always wanted to do, but just like I said, didn't have the time. Or because you got to consider so many different things. I don't know which way this whole thing is headed, BT. None of us do. I don't have a solution. I don't have the answer. I just know basketball.
Right.
But I'm here to let people know to take advantage of this time, because this is something, while we as a people are looking so much into the fact that this is something that probably came down at the wrong time, let's try and twist that narrative into making it about what can we accomplish and that to make like doing something that we wouldn't have done because we didn't have this time.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of turning it the opposite direction, looking at this whole thing from a positive aspect through the lens of optimism, and just make some things happen. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about. We're gonna need each other at the end of the day. I love the podcast. I love the ideas. And this is the time to see who's really about the crap and who's really for real. It's gonna be a point where we gonna have to start reaching out for some interviews with some people in my and your profession specifically.
That's right.
That this is the time to go and get it. I don't care who you are or how much money you got. Everybody is being quarantined and everybody has time on their hands to an extent of at least about 5-10 minutes for an interview.
That's right.
So I'm hoping that people who are podcasters, and it ain't got to be basketball players or athletes, for whatever it is that you do and like to talk about. It could be about relationships, it could be about depression, it can be about anything you want. But just this is the time to start putting together all of those tools and things that you've worked on over the years,
Mm-hmm.
to exercise and execute. So I'm excited to be on this thing with you, VT, man, my boy. Ride or die.
Man, I know that's right, man. Shit, I'm glad to have you on here. Man, it's been a long time since I've been behind this mic, man. I'll tell you, it feels good, man. Like I said, and I'm a homebody person, man. I mean, if it is not hoops, getting out, going to practices during the week, where I coach my team, my AAU team, or when the weekend rolls around, getting ready to go coach a game or a tournament, man, I like chilling at the house. But man, again, I go back to it's totally different when it's your choice, opposed to you better stay at that house because
Mm-hmm.
it's a virus going around that we don't know how it's getting spread.
That's right.
People have it and they're not showing any symptoms and they passing it along. And now I just read that the United States has surpassed, was it Italy, China, and
Every country.
yeah, in known cases now. Like it's wild, man.
It's very wild. And you know what? What's even more wild about that is multiple things. If you in a relationship and you under a roof with your significant other, maybe you is, maybe you ain't married. You about to learn a whole lot about them people that's under your roof with you during this time. Everybody be so quick to yell and run around and talk about ride or die and I'm going to be here with you through the thick and the thin. Thick and the thin is about to be tested during this time. And I think that that's good because we're learning the true colors about people during this time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find out how difficult it can be if the lady ain't doing no cooking. Ain't no eating out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to my household included. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to throw shots and dig and none of that. But I'm just saying, in general, this is we've never seen this before. This might be something exactly that me, you listening, the neighbors, the folks across the street, down the street, round the corner, on the other side of the globe need to hear and needs to experience to bring the best person out. Because all life is, from the time you brought in the first heartbeat to the last heartbeat, is all about experiences. You know, so that's why I thought it was important that we challenge people the way that we do. We don't know what's going to happen. Folks need to have their bills paid. And everything is about to be limited. God forbid they shut down internet, water, and phones and stuff like that, or we'd really be crazy. Folks about to be blowing their brains out. This is a pandemic that's going to affect relationships. marriages, everything.